break. It's probably one of the more important conversations that I'd like to have with you. I was just having a conversation with one of my sons, and he was sharing about a very small school where very often kids are committing suicide. Mama, Dad, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This is such a huge parenting thing. We need to talk to our kids about when they feel despair, when they question their moral fabric, when they're confused about their identity. What do they do with that? If we don't role play these conversations with our kids before they happen, then they're blindsided and really bad things can happen. So I want to encourage you to start thinking about and preparing little tidbits of conversations to have with your kids. The child that shared with me today, he was sharing about a kid that his girlfriend had broken up with him, and he went home and he took his own life. And I put my hand on my son's leg and I said, remember when I told you that sometimes you're going to feel so desperate, so depressed, so discouraged that you're gonna fight thoughts of hurting yourself. And I'll say things like, when you get there, don't hurt yourself. He goes, yeah. I go, because I struggled with those thoughts when I was your age. I struggled with all of those thoughts when I was your age. Just a second, gotta call the dog back. Ready? Let's see if he comes. Sprocket here. Come on. Come on. Sprocket, come. Oh, not fast enough. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Nope. Sit. Sit. It's so important that we have these conversations. I always chose most of the time to have these conversations when we were in the car driving for a couple reasons. Because you have a captive audience, but also I'm a mom of many with a dog and a husband and a life, and life is conflicted and life is distracting. But in the car, you almost get my full attention. So we have a lot of serious conversations in the car. They're really good, especially if you have boys. Nope, sit, sit. It's important to have these conversations, and if you have boys, when you do a shoulder-to-shoulder conversation, it takes a lot of the pressure off. Boys stereotypically don't like these types of conversations where you just look into they don't like that. It makes them uncomfortable. So instead you do it side by side, or you spill a bunch of Legos on the table and then you have the conversations. It's not a matter of if they're going to get exposed to stuff that they shouldn't be. It's not a matter of if they're gonna bump into these confusing thoughts that they don't know how to deal with. Those ifs are whens, especially in this culture, especially today. So talk to your kids. Start having the conversations. You are the only one that can judge when they need to happen. But I'm telling you, if your kids are starting to smell, they're starting to be hormonal, you need to start having the conversations now, soon. And if you need help or encouragement, you can always comment, or you can reach me at abetterwaytohomeschool@gmail.com. I am not a counselor, but I can share with you what my husband and I have shared with our own children and the things that we have wrestled through. I'm an open book, so if you have questions, let me know. And that's it. It's not if, it's when, and you want your kids to be prepared.